The problem started on the car when I was going down a highway in Orlando, and a truck changed lanes unexpectedly and sideswiped the car, and the car started lifting off the ground. So I turned the steering wheel right as quick as I possibly could, but the car was up in the air. So when the car came down, it damaged the front left spring, the strut, and a few other parts. So after that, the car was not very controllable going down the highway. So it just want to go every which way. So got it into Pierre. Pierre diagnosed it and replaced the spring, and some tie rods, and that pretty much fixed the problem. However, we didn't detect that the strut got damaged in the front left. So what I was experiencing is when I go down dips or hit speed bumps, not going very fast, maybe 20-30 miles an hour at the most, the car would bottom out on the front left. Your productivity is going to double.
So right now we're testing this 1995 E300 diesel for bad differential mounts, which I think we've actually got. Now, you guys may not be able to hear it, but there's a little something that you can hear in the driveline when I take my foot on and off the throttle. And so that kind of clunking is typical of the differential wanting to walk around back there as soon as torque is applied to it, or torque is taken off of it. Anyway, let's see what ends up happening. That's definitely alignment. I can feel it.
Yeah. It probably got bumped off a little bit.
It did get bumped off, but your tie rods are okay. You don't have any excess play in the steering. You don't have any real vibration, so
right.
They're just going to have to reset it. I think your bushings got knocked over some.
Okay, so symptoms started, was going down the road, and a careless trucker sideswiped the car and made the car jump up on the front left. So I turned the steering wheel to the right, obviously, and when the car came down, it collapsed, slightly collapsed the spring and damaged the shock and a few other parts.
Oh my gosh, how far did you get off the ground?
Must have been quite a ways. I wasn't thinking about that at the time. I was just thinking about getting away from the truck.
So what exactly were you doing? Were you just like, did you steer the steering wheel really sharp? Or?
Yes, made a quick, hard right, so the wheels must have been like this when she came down.
Gosh. And did you experience any injuries?
I did not, but
Thankfully.
Unfortunately the car did. Well, yeah, exactly. It's better that someone doesn't experience injury, but the car took it all.
So what were your symptoms recently after we replaced the spring? So we replaced the front left driver's spring.
Correct.
Because it was broken.
Well, yeah, because it was broken, I had a hard time controlling the car on the, especially on the highway. But after the spring was replaced, and I don't recall what all the other parts were. I think a tie rod was, and a couple other things. But the car is a huge improvement. But I think what we're experiencing now at the front left in dips and speed bumps is the strut is damaged. It's not absorbing the shock as it should.
We're fixing to go on a ride.
It's typically dips and speed.
Yeah, we've got bad dip mounts back there.
Yeah.
You don't want to hit this guy.
No, I don't think he cares. He's just... Oh, he's a guy that stops.
He cares.
I wonder why he stopped.
That way. Right in the middle of the
Maybe
road.
he thought he saw a penny or something. I don't know.
A lot of very strange people in Titusville.
Yes, it is a very interesting town.
Yeah. That's a strut release.
Gotcha.
That was the rear. That wasn't the front.
No,
though.
it sounded well. It was
When
from my
you
perspective, front. Yeah.
What I experienced in the front was it just, was really obvious when it was occurring. It didn't occur very often, but when we were going fast.
Car
and on
seems
top.
like it's shifting nice.
Mm-hmm.
Any transmission fluid losses?
Nah, I haven't looked in a month, but when I last checked,
It's
a
okay.
month ago, yeah, it's fine. I can usually feel if it does get low, it wants to start
Surging.
not, yeah. Yeah, it gets different when it's time to check.
Definitely a fun car, though.
It is.
It's very sweet.
My 87's more fun.
Yeah, well, the 87's the diesel hot rod.
Yeah, I want it back so bad. I just need to save up enough money to do it. I just gotta make sure what we have now.
But
I have
do
to
you
have two
feel like
cars
the
now.
87 won't be what it used to be because it's been sitting for so many years?
Oh gosh.
Do you have realistic expectations for it?
There probably have to be some parts to be replaced, some
parts,
rubber and like
just a few.
probably engine mount, transmission mounts, you know, the usual, but suspects. But I have new wheel bearings in the back. I mean, I've had a lot redone on that car.
Right.
I mean, a lot.
How many years ago? It was like 12 years ago, you said?
Maybe not even that long. It was 2011 I last used it on the highway, and that's when it started smoking.
Yeah, we just need to buy a new head for that car.
Yeah.
How many Mercedes do you own, Rick?
3.
What are they?
Starting with the oldest, a 1983 300 SD turbo, the 5-cylinder engine. Then the 1987 has a 603 series engine, and then of course this one.
And you just love them all.
Oh yeah, they all have their own character.
And Rick likes to push them to the...
I love,
the
the
maximum.
87, that car and I are just one. I mean, I can skate that car on wet grass, have full control. That car, the brakes have never failed me. I mean,
Well, it's a 124. They don't usually fail anyone.
yeah, but this one, when I slid through that light, and it wasn't raining or anything, the road was just a little wet. That shouldn't be happening. I mean,
So what
just straight on
happened?
down. I was on a downhill slope, and they have a red light camera, stupid thing. And when I see a light turn yellow with a red light camera, I don't care. I'm slamming on the brakes, and I'm going to stop. Well, the car wouldn't stop, so I slid to the middle of the intersection. I just said, screw it, I'm just going.
How far were you?
How far was I? Far enough the car should have stopped. My 83, I think, would have stopped. And it has no anti-lock in it.
That car would have definitely done what it was supposed to do.
Yeah. The 87, I know. Because going down, the 87, let's just say I used to be contracted with law enforcement. So it was between one of the hurricane squalls. And I had an officer with me in the car. And so I said, well, how do your brakes work in your squad cars? I said, are they any as good as this? So I'm going 80 miles an hour down Highway 27 on a downhill slope, and the road's wet. And so I stand on the brakes, and he goes, holy crap, this thing really does stop better than my car.
Oh, it's got twin pot calipers, you know.
Yeah. I'm so impressed with that. It's just it had a silly number 14 head in it. That was junk.
So we're on dirt roads right now.
Yeah, but they're not that bad.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
That wasn't even it, though. We did some donuts.
Oh,
I
yeah.
understand. Yeah, there's something going on that left side. You're right, that strut's bad.
Yeah.
See, right doesn't make any noise.
Yeah,
at all.
right's perfect.
Here we go.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's not designed to take that kind of impact.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a North Street we're going to go down. I feel like I put a new coolant cap on this car, but maybe I didn't. I mean, if it keeps doing this, I'm just going to have to say water pump.
Oh,
Is
okay.
it getting hot?
No, it just loses coolant.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I think it's only happening at higher rotational speeds. Gosh, that was even bad.
Yeah. Exactly.
No one doesn't even seem to care. I'm testing
Big bump
right.
coming up.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, right side is
Right's perfect.
right's perfect.
Yeah.
All right, this road used to be a good road for that too. I'm just gonna turn around real quick and go back.
Sure.
Well, they paved this road over.
I know.
The one road that I needed.
No, as long as we have Luden Street or whatever it is, we're fine.
Yeah.
This is a good one.
Yeah, this is perfect. There you go.
But that was the other side.
Yeah,
No.
it scraped a little.
That wasn't even it.
It was
See that parking lot? Wow. Okay, this is a good one.
Yeah, this perfect road. Plus a dip.
You have to
coming
go
up,
pretty
bump.
fast right here.
Yeah.
well,
There you go.
the rear's not too bad. I think we just need diff mounts back there.
There we go.
That was more like it.
That's all I
Yeah,
needed
it's
right
bottoming
there.
out.
That's all I needed right there. Our strut's bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be depressing when I pull out. I didn't know you're brand new.
I know.
I think what actually happened was the strut got bent a little bit.
That might be throwing the alignment too. Or,
Yeah, that's why I think it's cambered in at the front.
yeah.
I actually think your strut shaft got bent.
Gotcha. That makes sense, especially that impact.